Hey, PP.
Alright, so some questions about the awesome security screens. I'll go over them right now for you. Alright, first and foremost, the entire idea of doing the security screens, like I explained in the video where I showed them being installed, is to protect against accidental breakage. Mostly. Hey! Meow. And for the kitty. Those are the main reasons. So I can leave the windows wide open. I don't have to worry about anyone breaking in. I don't have to worry about her being able to get out like with regular screens. She can't tear them up. And it is now a deterrent too. You know, it's when it comes to security. All right, I get some weird questions on YouTube. I guess I should have expected this. It is the internet after all. You know, the tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists, the chemtrail, Fukushima, oh my god, we're all gonna die, we have to, you know, bug out and be preppers and all that. You know, that's great. You can prepare for whatever you want to prepare for. The idea, though, is deterrence. The average vandal or thief or crackhead who wants to break in to steal the TV and sell it for $20 to get crack, all right, this stops them. I get the weirdest. Some people are like, well, how could I get in with a gun? Could I shoot it? Could I? What if somebody comes with a grinder? I mean, you might as well ask, well, is it going to protect you against a nuclear bomb or an asteroid impact? Or, you know, none of that matters. That's not the point. A vandal or somebody trying to break in to grab something worth anything is walking down the street and sees a bunch of vehicles, and they aren't going to waste time on the one that's harder or takes longer to break into. All you have to do is slow down a thief, and they move on. They are not going to stop and break out their tools and try to break into a vehicle and make a bunch of noise. Anything that takes time, even if it takes 1 minute longer than the next car on the street, they're going to leave and go to the next car on the street. They're not going to bother with your vehicle. That is the point. If you want to break into an armored Brinks truck, you could break into it. You could break into a tank if you really wanted to break into it. That's not the issue. That's just not going to happen. But if somebody walks by and goes, hey, look, no one's home, I'm going to break in, there's probably a TV in there, and they realize they're not getting through these screens easily, they're gone. Front windows, doesn't matter. That's why I have the wall inside with a locking door. Again, it's a deterrent. You can see the wall in there, so they know it's going to take time and effort to get in, so they move on to the next vehicle. Now, you can always get 3M, the 3M shatterproof film to put on your windows. That stuff's readily available anywhere, and that way it'll take them a long time just to break through the windows, even if they smash it with a baseball bat. I mean, if you're worried about your front cab, but there's nothing in there worth stealing. All I care about is that it'll be hard for them to get into the back. That's the entire purpose of this. No, I don't have to worry about tree branches or rocks or anything, you know, bad weather, anything accidentally breaking my windows in the middle of the night or when I'm out in the middle of nowhere. And I have effectively created a deterrent which takes my vehicle off the radar. When I'm parked in an area with all these other vehicles, they're going to leave me and they're going to go to the next one. A thief wants the easiest to break into, the quickest to break into. They don't want to deal with stuff like this. All right, so that is the entire purpose of this. Now, one of the questions I got a couple of times, well, I kind of showed it, is what about cleaning the glass? Well, there's about 1 centimeter of space between the screen and the window, so it's not a big deal. Just get a stick or something with a rag and you could clean it if you really needed to get in there. I don't foresee that being an issue because when I wash the vehicle I use a high pressure hose anyways. Also, I don't need them for the other windows. I'll show you what I'm doing for the door window in the future. The kitchen window is really irrelevant. It's so small it's not even worth worrying about, and nobody would fit in it anyways. The other question I got was, will they rust? No, they're made for outdoors. They market these for outside of houses, buildings, you name it. It's not going to rust. So the cat gets ventilation. I can leave the windows wide open even when I'm not home. I don't have to worry about it, and I've created a perfect deterrent. Even if I had traditional window guards, like I showed in the other video, like bars or something like that, of course, all of it can be broken into. Anything could be broken into if you really want to. That's not the point. It's now much harder to break into mine, so it's much less likely to ever happen. And the main point is accidental breakage, tree branches and things like that. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I can sleep safe and sound at night knowing that the glass isn't going to shatter all around me. Now, one of the other things too, a few people said, I knew they would ask this, it's typical, things like this, is what would happen if there was an emergency and I had to get out? Isn't this a bad idea? Come on. Most RVs, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of RVs, like my last one for example, didn't have windows big enough to get out of. And when you order a new motorhome from the factory, you can pick and choose which windows you want or don't want. You can delete them. In my opinion, just pretend they weren't even there in the first place. Like I said, if I had my way, I would completely fill them in so they would be solid walls, which a lot of people have done on their homemade RVs. And most people who build their motorhomes out of cube vans and things like that, they usually have very, very small windows, not big enough for anyone to break in for that exact reason. This is a 21-foot motorhome. There is 2 doors at the front and 1 door right over there, like within a few feet of each other. The windows are irrelevant. I'd rather have no windows, 0 windows. So the notion that somehow I'm making it less safe, well, it's less safe if your windows can get smashed, in my opinion. If it's too easy to get out, then it's too easy to get in. And you might as well be living in a tent without walls or any security at all. Like, I used to stay in a basement suite a long time ago that had tiny little windows, like big enough for the cat to get in and out, but not a human being, and I felt very, very safe. There's a lot of exits in here if I need them, and I think the windows are just a feature, an option, and they're not doors. So that wasn't even on my radar, and it certainly isn't now. Again, I'd rather have solid walls. Forget the windows completely. But this was a cheaper solution, and I get the benefits of being able to have a window when I want one, and of course for the kitty, which is the main thing. I wanted her to have her ventilation, and she loves to look out the windows all the time. So it's really a lot to do with her more than anything else. But that whole safety argument, well then what do you say about all those people that have motorhomes that have smaller windows? What do you say to those people that have all their cool homemade stealth cargo vans with no windows in them? How come nobody asked them about that? I think it's only because there is already a window here and you physically see the window that some people in their mind, they think, oh, well that should be an emergency exit. Well, it's not. And I would rather it be so secure that nobody can break in. And I would much rather have the security. My bathroom doesn't have any windows at all, so nobody's mentioned that yet, but I bet you if I had a window in my bathroom and I decided to cover that up, people would say the same thing. Now, check out this awesome customized motorhome. You see, now this to me is ultimate. I love it. I love the look of it too. Like, this is the ultimate zombie apocalypse motorhome, and I love how secure it is with all those bars he has over everything, even around the front cab. Everything is secured. That, I believe, is I mean, if you're going to live in something and it's your house on the road and wherever you may be, I mean, that's true security right there. But I didn't go for the bars, the look of the bars and everything, because I'm in the city and I need to blend in a little better than that, unfortunately. But I still think this is a very cool looking van. Keep on rocking in the free world.